Welcome to COVID Homeschooling. In this video, we're going to talk about the value of play. If you don't get a lot done on a school day, but you have a fun day, you can chalk it up as a win. Play is super important in the cognitive and emotional development for children. This is well documented. It is why schools in places like Finland have limited school days. It is why they actually have times during school for playing, not just recess. They provide meaningful things like real tools so that kids can garden. It's fascinating to look into if you have the time. Now let's look at what important things are going on when your kids play. When kids are playing, they are inventing. They are looking at the world in a new way. They are writing stories. They are trying out different scenarios. They can try out being other people in a safe environment. They develop self-identity by trying out things and figuring out who they are not and who they are. Determining who they want to be. When they play with other people, they're practicing emotional tools. How to compromise, how to make rules, how to navigate disagreements. It is government and community in practice. So don't be too quick to step in when kids are disagreeing. Try to keep your ear open for when it is going too far, but give them a bit of time to see if they can work it out for themselves. If you do need to step in, try to ask questions or make observations instead of dictating what needs to happen. When kids want to play the same story over and over again, there is a reason for that. They are building a truth in their universe. It's like wanting to hear the same story over and over again. It's comforting. There is some peace in that is important to them. Maybe it's the triumph of good over evil. When my son was little, we spent hours playing cars and dinosaurs. His guys always had to be the best, the fattest, fastest, the smartest. If I made up a problem, only his guy could fix it. That's okay when they're little and they're only playing with you. It is them defining themselves in the world. Kids need the space to take up room and figure out who they are. We spend all day telling them what to do, but in play, kids get to be the ones who define what happens. So it's really good if you're playing with your kid to let them decide what the game is. If they become too bossy, it's okay to step in and say, "Hey, I feel like you get to make all the decisions and my guy doesn't get to do anything. Can we change that?" It is providing them the example for when they play with others. The more time we give children to play, the better they will do at applying the lessons of school. When they've had time to play stories, writing stories is a lot easier. The elements of story are more naturally understood. They can also accept history better by having experienced a multitude of stories in play. Seeing the patterns and divergencies of stories makes that more aware when they're looking at history. Learning that there can be other ways the story could have happened. So when kids have time for play, they can carry those skills over to knowing how to work collaboratively, how to be inclusive and listen to other voices, and how to stand up for themselves. Play is one of the most important elements in building strong children. So if you have a day when your kid does lots of playing but not a lot of school, don't worry. It's nothing to stress out about. Don't underestimate the power of playing.